Hi everyone, it's Kate from the Fold Line. I am back this week with the edit. I hope you're well and have managed to grab a second for themselves or doing a bit of sewing, doing something for them over the weekend. I've got some great new patterns to talk you through and I'm gonna get started with the assembly line. We've got 3 new patterns from them, paper only. Sizing on them is a UK 8 to 30. So I'm going to start with my favourite one actually, the barrel dress. I think this is such a gorgeous pattern. I will say also 2 different size bandings on this, so just make sure you're looking, you know, pick the right one, and everything I talk about will be linked down below. So I almost think with this, let's start with the line drawing so we can see what's going on. There are some really interesting seam details. So the sleeved version, you can see there is a seam running down the top of your arm into what would almost be kind of like a I guess a giant cuff, but the interesting thing is that shape. So the sleeve is kind of coming outwards and then back in at the sort of cuff of the sleeve. I think it's really clever. Then there is a seam on your waist, and you can see that the skirt is mirroring the same thing again. So the first panel of the skirt goes out and the second panel comes back in, which makes for a really interesting sculptural dress. There are inseam pockets for this. On the back of the sleeved version, well actually on both versions, there are little darts as well, so you can add a bit of shaping in there. You can also make it sleeveless if you'd like, but I absolutely love this. I think it's really interesting and I haven't seen anything like this for a while, and I like a kind of interesting kind of silhouette, and this is really lovely. So that is there for the first one. Their second pattern is a drop waist dress, same sizing on this and paper only. Let's have a look at the line drawing. So obviously drop waist, the seam line is not sitting at your waist, it's sitting a little bit lower. The skirt is slightly flared, not too much. You can add an option to add a kind of proper frill around the bottom if you want to, which I really love that shape. Does not suit my body type, but I would love to wear that. You can also make it slightly balloon, so there's quite a lot of options that you can kind of play around with. The neckline's got a great detail, so it's got some gathering into the neckline, and you can then see that the armholes and the neckline are both finished with a bias binding, so it's kind of taped edges, and there's a little kind of tie detail again at the back. It's just a great one. You can also make it into a top as well, so it's quite a versatile item for your wardrobe, and if you like that little kind of detail around the neckline, I think it's nice to have a kind of plain top but with a little something something. Then finally they have got a pencil skirt, which is really great shape actually, not super fitted, a little bit more relaxed. I like the length of this, I think it's great. So if we have a look at the line drawing, the reason that I love it is because there are 2 darts at the front and 2 darts at the back. This means that you're going to get the fit really great on it. And I feel with a slightly more relaxed pencil skirt, you do need the top to be kind of fitting kind of perfectly. And you also have the side seams as well. So you've got your side seams and your 2 darts to kind of get the fit round your tummy and back perfectly nailed. There's also a split up the back, obviously, because otherwise you'd be walking like a penguin. But yeah, it's a really great pattern, and I just like that it's a little bit more relaxed fit wise. So that one is also there, and I know lots of people really love the assembly line. So yeah, we're quite excited to have them. Then we have 2 new options from Puff and Pencil. The first one is the halter top. This is a really sweet little pattern actually. So let's have a look at the line drawing and see what is going on. It's got all the classic things that you'd expect from this style of top. Very low kind of V at the front, seam underneath the bust. The interesting thing details for me is it's got this really lovely neck detail that kind of looks like a kind of casually kind of left kind of wrap top, but it's actually sort of stitched down, and it's kind of, you hook it together with hook and eyes. So I really like that. I also really love that there are little buttons down the back. There are also 2 seams in the back, so you can get some shaping as well. And I should also say that it is cut on the bias, so then it's going to be sitting and kind of fitting in a really lovely way. It's fully lined front and inside out as well, so it's kind of an involved make for not a lot of top, if you see what I mean, but I think it would be quite a fun one and something you'd learn quite a lot making. I really like it. And the second pattern from them is a bundle, so it's the Puff and Pencil halter top and Copenhagen skirt. So the halter top that I've just spoken about and the Copenhagen skirt, which I think I spoke about a couple of weeks ago maybe. So it's a really sweet little skirt option, and actually they look great together. So if you were thinking about both of those, there is a bundle option available. Then we have got a pattern from How to Do Fashion, the Firenze jacket or shirt. They specialise in vintage patterns or vintage style patterns. So this I really love. So sizing on this is a UK 6 to 30. It's PDF only. You can see that it's got loads of really lovely vintage details, and I like that you can make this as a jacket or a blouse depending on what you'd like. There are two variations for this. If I show you the line drawing, they're very similar. Buttons down the front, and the second variation has a sort of like tail off that kind of mirrors the waistband or kind of hemband at the bottom. There's lots of lovely details, lots of ruching and kind of gathering in, and it's just, my mum had a 1940s blouse that was so like this, so it feels quite nostalgic for me. But yeah, it's a really lovely pattern if you like kind of vintage inspired stuff. Then we've got a really beautiful summer dress from Silver Saga. This is called the Emma dress. It's PDF only. Sizing on this is a UK 6 to 22, and then the kind of core thing is there are different bust cup options. So there's an AB cup, a C cup, a D cup, and an EF cup, which is great. So let's have a look at what is going on with this dress. Maybe if I get up the line drawing, that will kind of give you an idea. So it's a really sweet pattern with a kind of sweetheart neckline, quite kind of dramatic wide straps at the top, which kind of make it feel quite romantic and nostalgic. The neckline has got a channel of elastic with a kind of little ruffle at the top. Then there are another two channels of elastic underneath the bust, so you kind of get the shaping there. And then it's quite a flared skirt. It's actually quite a simple construction, so it wouldn't kind of take you too long. You can also make it as a top as well. So it's just a really lovely, if you haven't seen any of the other patterns, I'll pop a link to all of them. And I should say that everything I will talk about I'll pop links to, but yeah, I'll link to all of her other patterns as well, so you can have a look, because they are really, if you like this sort of style, there are some really great other options as well. Then we've got a very simple pattern from Juliana Martej, and I feel like this is a great one for a real beginner. It's a kind of jersey headband. There are two different widths that you can make it. Super simple. It's a kind of quite a cheap pattern, obviously, because it's very simple in terms of the construction of this. But yeah, I was thinking if you are reaching saturation point in some holidays and you wanted a quick fun project to do with a kid, this would be a really nice one. So yeah, that is there as well. And last but not least, this is more of a public service announcement. Anyone who has got the Halter pants, which many of you have because it's a very popular pattern, there is an extension pack to add a zip fly, which is really great because that was something that we got quite a bit of feedback about. So that is now there if you would like it. So you need to obviously own the Halter pant pattern already, but this is just a little kind of zip extension if you'd like it. So that is everything from me this week. I hope that was useful and you found something nice, and enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll be back soon. Bye.